All right, let's get into it. Apple TV Plus just finished the first season of the series Your Friends and Neighbors. This stars Jon Hamm, and it is a messy, sharp, and surprisingly dark look at the people we think we know. Secrets, lies, and plenty of neighborly tension. This first season gives us a lot to chew on. Stick around as we discuss if this show is worth your time. We'll talk about what works, what didn't, and whether Jon Hamm is about to own your watch list again. Hello, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
I'm Danny.
I'm John.
This is our Charmed Midlife.
Oh, is it?
And today I'm talking about the Apple TV Plus series, Your Friends and Neighbors, starring Jon Hamm, Amanda Peet, Olivia Munn. Here's the write-up for the first season. A hedge fund manager resorts to burglary after losing his job, targeting wealthy neighbors to maintain his family's lifestyle, but makes a fateful error breaking into the wrong home.
Uh-oh.
So this was 9 episodes, each episode about an hour long.
Wait, disclaimer, I didn't watch it.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, but I'm here to be supportive.
Yes.
And entertaining.
So the overall gist of the show is basically exactly like I said. Jon Hamm loses his job and is kind of coming out of it with no money. Basically, he explains how much money he has to spend. So he's he's separated from Amanda Peet, having to maintain her home, take care of their kids still, all the expenses. He rattles it all off. It's a crap ton of money. And when he's fired, they won't give him his capital fund. There's this whole reason and stuff. So he's coming out of it with no cash.
Wow. And
he doesn't want to tell people he was laid off. It's a really stupid reason he was laid off, and I'm not going to get into that, but it's a stupid reason.
Dumb.
So, this is Apple's take on rich people behaving bad. This is kind of the whole genre that everyone loves now.
Hasn't this been done before?
It has.
Okay.
Not exactly this way, but but rich people behaving bad, we're out. That's what we're doing out there. So, they live, I think it's a little village in Connecticut outside of the city. Everyone there is super rich. They all just kind of are, masters of the universe and whatever. Cool. It's a little annoying to watch. Lena Hall's in this too. She plays Jon Hamm's sister, and
good for her.
Yeah, and what the twist on this is you kind of go into it thinking Jon Hamm's going to be just this douche guy. And it turns out he's actually a really nice guy. He divorced Amanda Peet because she cheated on him. He takes care of his sister, Lena Hall, 'cause she's bipolar, so he takes her in and has always looked after her. He really, loves his kids. He misses his family. He's not a typical kind of jerk that you would think we're walking into in this type of show. Did he work too hard, perhaps, and so that's why his wife, whatever. But other than that, he really just wants, he wants to connect with his kids, and he wants to, provide for them, which again is why when he loses his job, he results in stealing from his neighbors. And they literally were sitting around at a cookout, and one neighbor's like, "Oh, I got this bag and it's worth this much, and I've got this watch and it's they all just talk about how much money they have." And so he was like, okay, and if he knew a neighbor was out of town, he'd walk in, and his theory was if he just takes one watch out of the 15 watches they have, these people are so rich they're not going to know that something's missing.
Maybe they won't notice.
Yeah. And I mean, a watch worth $250,000, not a Timex.
Yeah. I think they'll notice.
Yeah, so he starts getting more and more into it because, of course, he still has all these bills. He does hook up with one of the, I think she's a cleaning lady in one of the houses, and starts working with her because they can get into more houses that way. All this sort of stuff happens, and then someone ends up dead in one of the houses.
Whoopsie.
And that turns into then this whole big, huge thing, and he gets himself into trouble over and over again. And that's where it started to get interesting.
Oh, okay.
Because honestly, the first 2-3 episodes, I was kind of what's happening and where are we going with this? And then it started to really pick up speed, and it became one of those shows that every weekend I was like, I gotta watch this again. And then I didn't really want to, but as soon as I put it on and 5 minutes in, I was hooked and I was like, okay, here we go. And it was a good show.
It wasn't something you were looking forward to, but when you got there, it was good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, the whole theme of this, and you get it in many, many, many of the characters, of course, is the whole keeping up with the Joneses thing and what people have to do in order to maintain that. And he's not the only one in this scenario that's acting strangely or doing bad things in order to do that.
Well,
So
if it's a neighborhood of rich people, I'm sure there's lots of bad things going on.
yeah.
No offense to rich people, but yes, offense to rich people.
But it was also, it's definitely just like any of those other shows we've been looking at, White Lotus and,
Succession.
Perfect Couple and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting a glimpse into these houses and yeah, what they might be collecting, I mean, this woman who has a closet full of Birkins and, that's fun to watch. You always kind of like that, or the artwork that they're collecting, or the cars that they're driving. It's nice to have a little peek into that sort of life for a bit.
See, I may have to revisit this because one of the reasons I didn't start watching it or wasn't really interested in it is because I thought Jon Hamm's character was going to be a douche.
Oh, right.
So hearing that he's not now and that he plays a nice guy,
Yeah.
I might rethink watching this.
Yeah, it does give it that different twist where it makes it easier to watch. And, because obviously if he was horrible, then we wouldn't want to watch him doing horrible things. It's he's stealing for his family, to take care of his family.
I guess I kind of thought it was going to be a bad guy finally gets his other shot.
Oh, okay.
But hearing that he's not necessarily a bad guy.
Yeah.
He's just doing bad things.
Look, it was cleverly written. I liked the kind of, he does a lot of voiceover as he's doing things. So we get to really hear kind of his whole inner monologue as he's doing things. I liked the interaction between a lot of people. And again, you can see where the fake friends are or the real friends. Like he has a manager that is really his best friend and is his ride or die and literally will do anything for him. And then you've got, like Olivia Munn and Amanda Peet, not such great friends, fake friends, that sort of thing. So you see all the different aspects. But so the writing is clever on that. We get to hear Lena Hall sing, thank goodness. And then, but the acting is also really good. This has been really good for Jon Hamm. Now, I really like him doing the comedy that he kind of stepped aside and did. If you saw his Fletch movie, I really enjoyed his Fletch movie. I still watch Mad Men during the week, and, he's so great in that. This is not to that level where he has to be that kind of guy. Here, he's just kind of a normal guy. And he was good in it. But the acting of everyone in this show is really what carried it forward for me. I think that's what made me really kind of sink into each episode every week and get me hooked on it, was just everyone was really good. Really good.
Good.
As far as other shows, comparing like Big Little Lies or The Affair or something, I don't feel like it's as good as those. I loved The Affair. Big Little Lies the first season was really, really good. It's not as good as that. I don't even know if there's maybe a few more I would put ahead of this one, but it's out right now. It was enjoyable, and they left it open for a second season. I stand alone in this whole kind of having a limited series versus giving it a second. I like having just the one season. I have no problem with that because when I think about it, what do we do next season? He keeps stealing and he gets caught and, maybe something. It just feels like we have to repeat.
Well, you either repeat or you get ridiculous, which is what happens to shows that should be one season. They get renewed and they now have to do something to one up themselves.
Exactly, and I'm just not. I don't want that. So I'm fine if it stays where it is. I haven't heard what they're doing as far as if there is a second season or not, but I don't think that one is necessary.
Okay.
It did end up wrapping up really fast. Like the last episode was kind of like, oh, here, and I figured this out, and I solved this, and now a group hug, and it was just like, oh, okay, now that's fine, but it felt again, just a little bit like, well, if we just make this person do this and that, and we're good. So
it's amazing how many shows that happens to.
I know.
Where they get halfway through the last episode and they're still plodding along, and all of a sudden, oh, gotta go.
It's almost like, because it was 9 episodes, which is strange, it's almost like they thought they had 10 episodes and then they realized, oh, no, they only ordered 9. And they were like, oh, okay, well then let's put it in there. I don't know. It's just silly. So
where does this fall on your charm scale?
My charm scale, we have for comedy a 5. There was good back and forth, and there's, the kind of little picking on the rich people type thing. So, it was there.
Okay.
For heart, 7. Him and his involvement with Amanda Peet, his ex-wife, his involvement with his children. There were a lot of times I actually cried. And then with his sister too, just there was definitely, if there wasn't heart in this sort of story, then why watch?
Sure.
We really had to care about him and his family in order to support him stealing. Yeah. Action, I gave it a 4. He is breaking into houses, he's burglarizing. Sometimes the cops are, the alarm goes off and he's running, and he gets beat up, someone gets hit by a car, like there's stuff going on. So so I gave it a 4.
Okay.
Romance, I gave it a 6. There is some kind of obviously he's involved with someone in the beginning of the show. Then you kind of think maybe him and his ex-wife will get back together. So there was definitely romantic moments throughout the series. And then for magic, I put a question mark because I really don't know that I understand it entirely. And I don't think there's any magic in this, if I'm taking it literally, which is what I do. So,
yeah. So the magic category is not, pulling a rabbit out of a hat. Is there something magical about the show? Is there chemistry between two people that is intangible, but is so compelling?
No.
Well, something like that.
Okay.
I'm giving you examples.
Then 0 for magic still. So.
Yeah.
But my overall rating for the 1 season of Your Friends and Neighbors, I'm giving an 8. Overall, it was enjoyable. I can't really make huge complaints about it. Like I said, the level of acting and the writing was good enough. Was there some disjointed things that kind of popped up and then we never heard about again and that sort of, yeah. But I'm going to look past those things and just give it an 8.
How long were the episodes?
About an hour.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is about 9 hours of viewing.
Okay.
But all episodes are on Apple TV Plus now, so you can check them out. What? And let me know what you think. Did you watch this series already? What did you think? Do you think it was fitting for Jon Hamm? At first, I wasn't even sure that he was going to be good in this role. But then I actually really liked him in it. Okay. So it works for me. So would love to hear your thoughts on the series. What did you think? Definitely comment down below. And like this video, please. It helps our channel out so much if you would like the video. Yep. Subscribe if you can. And thanks for watching. We have so much more coming up, so we will see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.